Good morning, gladiators. We will be going over the comma rules, part two, subordinating conjunctions. So, a complex sentence is when you have an independent phrase joined with a dependent clause. Dependent meaning that it cannot live by itself. It has to be joined with a complete sentence, um, making a complex sentence. A dependent clause, also known as a subordinate clause, is a clause with two specific qualities. First, it does not express a complete unit of thought on its own. It cannot live on its own. It depends upon an independent clause, one that can stand as a complete sentence. If an independent and dependent clause could be linked to Batman and Robin, the dependent or subordinate clause would be Robin, Batman's assistant, and the independent main clause would be Batman, his superhero boss. Just a fun analogy for you. So these are subordinating conjunctions, and a mnemonic device to help you would be an AWWBIS. AAAWWBBIS. So you're just going to have to study these and memorize them. If the three A's are as, after, although, the two W's are while and when, until, because, before, if, and since. So the rule states that if a sentence begins with an AWWBIS, then you must place a comma after the phrase before the independent clause. After the cat left on vacation. So after is my AWWBIS, my subordinating conjunction. Here's my phrase. After the cat left on vacation. You cannot end there. That is not a complete thought. It must be attached to a complete independent sentence. The mice came out to play. If it begins the sentence, then you need a comma. If it is in the middle or at the end of the sentence, no comma is needed. The mice came out to play after the cat left on vacation. So you have to remember that if it's at the beginning, it needs a comma. If it's at the end, it does not need a comma. And so there are 5 questions I'd like for you to properly punctuate. They may or may not need commas. The next rule we're going to go over, and if then. So if is an AWWBIS, but because we see it so often, we created our own rule. If a sentence starts with if, then a comma is needed before then or where then might be. So we have if and we have then. Then is not always there. Sometimes you could take the word then out and you'd still have a complete sentence. Where wherever then would be, you have to place a comma before it. If I had $1 million, then I would buy an island. So if we look at the sentence and we take out the word then, it would still make sense, but you still need a comma. If I had $1 million, I would buy an island. Here is my if, then, comma rule examples. There are 3 sentences I'd like for you to complete. When you are done with this assignment, submit it for grading. Have a great day, gladiators.